How do I get started? What a simple question with a stupidly complicated answer. Recently, I found myself asking this question when I decided I needed a Regency outfit. I've successfully built both a historical and modern wardrobe, so starting a new time period should be easy, right? I should just do the thing? Well, it might be if you're not riddled with anxiety that spirals down into crippling self loathing anytime you try something new. Yep, that's my secret. After almost 2 decades of home and professional sewing experience under my belt, I still get the nopes when I stretch outside my comfort zone. If you are the same, hi, let's be friends. I like general encouragement and Joe likes cranberries. Let's talk about how to actually start costuming. First, start with inspiration. You know, that pin on Pinterest that makes you stop scrolling and click, and then you try to go to the website, but then you realize that the link is broken and it sent you to a recipe for double chocolate fat bombs? So then you do a Google image search to find out that it's a portrait of Eleanor to Toledo, and you instantly want all of the dresses she wears in her 10 plus portraits. Start there. Next, it's time to do some research. There's a lot of resources online like archive.org and academia.edu. I'll link those in the description. They offer great resources for free. Get comfortable asking questions. Learn about the general history. Who were these people? Why did they wear these clothes? What fabrics were used? Is there a pattern for this? That last question is important. When you first start, you can't expect yourself to know everything. Or anything, if we're being honest. I have for a while now been obsessed with Robin Hood, and especially in high school. Especially the fact that there were so many iterations of the story. I mean, I feel like a new Robin Hood film comes out like every other year or so, and you look at like the historical context. Anyway, point Marty. So you better bet that when I started historical costuming, because I was in a boffer group with a historical twist and they were just very pretentious, that I was gonna wear Lincoln green and a hood because I wanted to be Robin Hood. But you know, like, make it girly, right? Because I wanted to like fight with all the boys out in the fields, but I didn't want to look like all the boys, so let's just make it girly. I did a lot of research to gain that like theoretical knowledge on how to do a thing, and I realized how easy a medieval tunic really was to make. And later I realized there were different ways to make medieval tunics depending on like region and area, and that was cool. It was really cool, if I'm being honest. I also found a pattern of a vest that I raised the neckline on and added some embroidery to, and it was just super cute, and I should actually remake that for my modern wardrobe. I am still quite proud of this outfit, and so much so that I accidentally remade this outfit like 5 years later after I'd done a lot more research onto what would have actually been appropriate in that time period. Still really proud of both. How would you know what the bodice shape of a Regency gown is if you've never seen one? How are you supposed to know how a historical garment is supposed to fit if you've never tried one on? The simple answer, a pattern. Okay, we need to just like take a minute to appreciate teenage Marty and her willingness to just be like, I'm gonna make a thing, and like making it happen. My first pair of stays, I found a pattern generator for, which I will link in the description if you are looking for like a free pattern generator that'll like to your measurements and be super awesome. Link in the description. Anyway, I didn't have any boning. I didn't know what to do for boning. I didn't really have a lot of like people I could talk to, because this was like, I'm here. I was just showing up in a pair of stays. So I used linen that I had found in my mom's fabric stash, because like she had like a remnant box that like I could go through and make stuff out of. Anyway, found this linen, found black satin ribbon to bind it with, and I found 1/4-inch wooden dowels. I boned my first pair of stays with wooden dowels. Don't get me wrong, super supportive, super awesome. But I also just like kind of broke them, so they had jagged edges and they poked, and it just, if someone hit me really hard, they probably would have shattered and like damaged some internal organs. There were a lot of people concerned for my safety when I wore those stays, and they were also not washable, which was a problem for me. Anyway, we graduated to a better pair of stays. Eventually, you might graduate into drafting your own patterns, but there's a lot of talented and creative costumers that only use commercial patterns. And indie patterns, I guess there is that difference. Now we come to the hard part. The part where we need to be realistic and possibly hard on ourselves. It is time to set a budget. Your first costumes will be learning pieces. The biggest investment in them should be your time. Thrift stores, your grandma's fabric stash, that flat sheet you never use because hashtag millennial, are all great alternatives to going to the fabric store. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I had my first non tablecloth Ren dress until about 4 years ago, and I've been working on my Renaissance wardrobe for about a decade. It also took me about 7 years of investing in my sewing skill before I attempted to make a court gown. The point is, set a limit of what you're willing to invest in this project. That's both for your time and your money. Hand sewing is beautiful, but it could take months. And that silk is hashtag goals. But do you really want to make a mistake on $20 a yard fabric? Working within self set boundaries will help you be able to focus on other things, like building your skills. I feel like this one is self explanatory, but you must crawl, then walk, then run. And in sewing, you must sew, then sew, then sew. Wait. Nope, that's accurate. Start with the simple things. Learn how to sew a straight line and finish edges. Then sew curved lines and learn hand-bound eyelets. Choose your next project to teach you a new skill that you didn't have before. Add another tool to your metaphorical tool belt until you're that old, half-retired mechanic who parks his car in the driveway because the garage is for the tools. Don't be afraid of learning a new skill until you've tried it. When I was working in the tailor shop, my favorite alterations were the most technically challenging ones. Probably because I was learning. And, well, at this point, you've done it. You made a thing. Sure, the seams are weird and you probably should have used a different fabric, but those are problems tomorrow you can solve. Today, you're wearing something you made, and it feels great, doesn't it? This is also the point of self reflection. Have I explored this time period enough? Is this really my thing? Where in the world will I ever wear this? Did I finish all of my seams? And all I have to say is, at this point, don't be too hard on yourself. This was your first attempt. The fact that you even got started is amazing. And where you start is not where you end up.